Hi guys! So today we are going to be talking about Chanel brushes. I know that there are a lot of brush videos out there, but I don't know if I've ever come across any videos that talk about Chanel brushes. Chanel, I don't feel like they're really known for their brushes. I feel like they have great brushes. I feel like they do have great brushes. Their brushes, the price point is a little higher. It's a lot more, not a lot. It is more expensive than MAC, but it's not quite as expensive as Tom Ford or like Chikuhodo or anything like that. But I went ahead and I picked out about 7 or 8 brushes that I feel are absolutely worth the money, that I feel are standout brushes. Like, yes, Morphe has a lot of great brushes. I love Morphe brushes. I have a ton of them because not only are they affordable, but they work really well. But these are brushes that I feel like just cannot be replicated by anyone else. These certain Chanel brushes are pretty much Chanel exclusive in the sense that only Chanel can make a brush like this, that functions like this, that picks up product like this, that disperses products like this. And this video also might help anyone who is just new to Chanel and just wanted maybe to try out their brushes, because I know brushes, the Chanel brushes, aren't really talked about online or really anywhere for that matter. So I just wanted to make a video talking about it. Brushes are honestly by far my most favorite thing in the cosmetic industry. Like, I love eyeshadows, I love foundations and blushes and bronzers, but I feel like brushes are just by far my most favorite thing. It's the tools of the trade. Like, they just, I mean, without brushes, makeup is nothing. So let's go ahead and jump right in. The very first brush that I want to talk about is the Fluid Powder Foundation number 8 brush, and it is a brush. It looks like this. It is short, it is flat, it is very dense, and it is synthetic. So it does what it says. It is indeed a 2-in-1 foundation brush. Honestly, at first when I was looking at it, I'm like, okay, well, what's so special about this? Like, I have a bunch of kabuki brushes. I love my Morphe kabuki brush, and I love my Sigma F80. Like, those are pretty much irreplaceable in my mind. So I look at a brush like this and I'm like, okay, well, what's so special about this? You know, it just didn't look like it was going to spread out my foundation the same way that all my other brushes did. And then I went ahead and tried it and I was sold. So the way that this brush is marketed as, it is marketed as a 2-in-1 foundation brush, as in you can use it for foundation, and then after your foundation is all set, you can go ahead and go in with powder and use it to set your makeup. Which I know it sounds like a gimmick, but it's absolutely not. I have used this on myself and on my customers, and it's worked perfectly fine. So the way that you're supposed to use this is you go ahead and you take your foundation and you go ahead and just move it around. Because of the way this brush is made, it's best if you hold it in the crook of your hand like this. You want to hold the brush as farther back as you can so that you apply the least amount of pressure. If you hold the brush too close like this, what you end up doing is micro exfoliating. So if you have dry skin or any dry patches, it's really going to bring it out, and it's just going to make your foundation look really cakey. So what you want to do is you want to hold it as far away as possible so you have the least amount of control over it. So this is how you're actually going to apply your foundation, in circular motions and then in dragging motions, and that's just going to move the product all around your face. And then in areas where you want a little extra coverage, for example under your eyes, all you would do is just tap. And what that's going to do is that it's going to disperse a lot more product in that certain area. So you apply your foundation, you even out your skin tone, and then you go in and you just apply more coverage where you need it. And what's great about this foundation is that you don't get that like all over heavy coverage. It's going to give you a coverage that looks pretty much like skin. It's going to look a lot more natural, because a lot of times when you just have like an all over even full coverage, it doesn't look real. Like, it's not realistic. No one's face is an even tone like that. Like, you have textures, you have different colors in different places. Like, that's just not how skin looks. So this brush gives you the ability to go in and just go ahead and spot treat where you want a little extra coverage instead of putting full coverage all over your face. Okay, and then like I said earlier, after your foundation is all done, you go ahead and you just take this brush and you can go in and set your foundation with a powder, and you just dip it into the powder and just streak your foundation gently, and it's not going to ruin your makeup or anything. It's just going to set your makeup very lightly. Okay, and next brush I want to talk about is the foundation brush. It is the number 1 powder brush. It is a big, super dense powder brush, and you can use this to set your makeup all over your face. It's gonna pick up like a really generous amount of product, so it would be perfect for just extra powder in certain places, like maybe your nose, right under your eyes. But what I saw one of the senior artists do is use this as a blush brush, which really intrigued me because I honestly thought this was way too dense to use as a blush brush, but the way he applied it was he just like dipped it into the product a little bit and just flicked it on the cheek, just right on the apples of the cheek. And then what he did was he just went ahead and pressed the brush kind of flat like that, kind of picked up a little more product, and then applied it gently onto places that he wanted more pigment on. And it just gave the most like natural looking blush application I have ever seen. This brush is so versatile. So obviously you can use it for blush, you can use it for powder, you can use it for pretty much anything. The next brush that we are going to talk about is the number 2 powder contour brush. So the way I like to use this is I like to set my makeup with it. It picks up the perfect amount of product, whether translucent or pressed, and it makes setting your makeup so easy. It just kind of like sweeps across the face in such an effortless movement. It's perfect. But it is marketed also for contour, so if you want to go ahead and bronze your cheek, you can go ahead and use this brush for that as well. So it's not going to give you a precise contour or anything because it is quite fluffy, but it's going to give you a nice bronze. If you just want to add dimension to the cheek, you can go ahead and just do that. But what I saw one of the senior artists do is he dipped it into the bronzer and just went ahead and tapped it in just to give the face a little more dimension. Just tapping it's going to give you a very natural shadow on your face as opposed to like a very precise contour, because I mean no contour, like nobody's cheekbones actually look like this. So if you want like a more realistic looking bronzy contour type of thing to just to add dimension to your face, that's probably the best way. Okay, next is the Chanel number 4 blush brush. I've actually seen a couple YouTubers talk about this, but it's never gained that much popularity just because, like I said earlier, brands like Morphe and MAC and just all these other brush brands have kind of taken over. This is one of my favorite blush brushes in the world because it picks up and it disperses product on your cheek in a way that no other blush brush has ever done for me. Like it disperses the perfect amount of blush, and because it is so small and dense, the application is actually very precise. So if you want exactly on the apple of your cheeks, you can. If you want to just go ahead and flick it back just to give a more natural flush, you can. Again, it is a very versatile blush brush. Because it's so small and precise, what I've also used this for is to set under eye, like the under eye area for my customers, or use it to go ahead and chisel out their cheeks a little bit. A lot of times when I'm doing makeup on another customer, I don't always have a lot of brushes to use because we all have to share brushes, and if all of us have a customer sitting down, we don't have that many brushes to use at our disposal, or sometimes the brushes don't get cleaned fast enough, whatever the case may be. I don't have a lot of brushes at my disposal, so what I'll do is like sometimes I'll go ahead and set their set their face with the powder, go in and bronze, and then last step go in and apply the blush with this brush. So I use this brush in 3 different ways on one person, so that's an option for you if you're ever in a pinch. This blush brush is very, very versatile. If you need like just one to go, this one. Okay, last few brushes, the one that I really want to talk about. I want to talk about all these brushes because I mean these are the brushes at Chanel that I feel are actually definitely worth your money. Like if you're gonna grab a brush from Chanel, it's got to be one of these because nobody makes brushes that feel like this. Like they don't function the same way as these brushes do. So this one is the 19 eyeshadow blender brush, and it is pretty much a pencil brush on steroids. It just looks like a regular pencil brush, except it's bigger, it's longer, it's chubbier. So because of its density, it's going to pick up a lot of product and it's going to disperse the product in a very pigmented manner. You're going to get a very pigmented application with this. So I like to use this when I'm doing a smoky eye on a customer, and I use this brush to pick up the deepest color. So the last deepest contouring color that I'm going to use on their eyes, I like to use this brush because it's going to give the most precise and the most pigmented application. All you need to do is tap it in there and you pretty much got a load of product in there. And then all you have to do is just tap it in the outer corner or wherever you want to place it, and then just blend it out with your blending brush and you're pretty much good to go. Okay, the next brush that I feel like a lot of people overlook because I haven't sold a lot of these brushes. I've only sold about like 2 of these, and it is the 26 contour shadow brush. It is a tiny brush that looks like this. Now you're probably looking at it and you're like, okay, well, what can I possibly do with a brush that looks so tiny? Well, let me tell you, this brush, because it is so tiny, you can use this for a lot of precise work. For example, if you want to put an inner corner highlight, this would be perfect for that. If you don't have a lot of lid space like me and you just want to pop a little bit of brow highlight, this would be perfect for that. Because it's going to give you a very precise application. But also what I've been loving this for is for smudging. It was recently where I didn't have a pencil brush on hand because for some reason all of it was dirty. Like every single pencil brush I had was dirty. So I went ahead and picked this one up and I smoked out my lower lash line and my upper lash line, and it gives the most perfect smudged out grungy look without it looking too messy. So this brush is great for smudging as well. It's very versatile. So if you're looking for a little, like an eyeshadow brush from Chanel that's pretty much going to do everything, it's this guy right here. And then last brush, but definitely not least. Honestly, I didn't believe in lip brushes at first because, I don't know, like no lip brush has ever impressed me. I always felt like the application of lipstick wasn't very smooth. It always looked a little uneven, a little patchy, just something. Like no lip brush has ever impressed me until this one, and it is the number 33 Chanel lip brush. It does have an angle to it, and that's what really intrigued me, because every lip brush I've ever seen it was either like a little point or something. Like the shape was just funky. So when I came across this one, I was like, oh, how weird, like it has like a little point. And then I used it on a customer and I was like, put it in my basket, like I'm done, I have to get it. So I grabbed 4. Okay, I don't know if you guys can hear, but like, okay, so I'm filming right now in the middle of a storm. They say it's the storm of the year. And I'm looking out, it pretty much looks like doomsday outside. Like trees are falling, it is windy, the rain is coming, like it looks scary outside. But you know what? California needs the rain. Like we definitely need the rain. But on the downside, because of the way my room is situated in this house, it is actually attached to the backyard. So we have a lot of trees in the backyard, so if it floods, my room floods. So this brush, because of its angle, it's perfect for going into the precise contours of the lips. Like you can easily carve out like a perfect cupid's bow, and because of its flatness, like it's just so easy to trace just the lip line. And then because of its paddle shape, the application on the actual lip is so smooth and so even. It's incredible. This would be perfect for you if you're not a fan of applying lipstick on yourself with the actual bullet, but this would be perfect for freelancers. Like this will change your freelancing life. If you're in the market for a good lip brush for your freelance kit, it would definitely be this one. It's the number 33 lip brush from Chanel. Okay guys, that was the very last brush. As you can see, there aren't many of them, but in general, Chanel doesn't have a lot of brushes to offer in general. I really wish they expanded their brushes, but I mean, every time I see the artist's work, I'm like, wow, you really don't need a lot of brushes to achieve a beautiful look. Like honestly, with Chanel, less is definitely more. They're all about embracing your natural beauty, and that's that. If you hear that in the background, it's rain. It's really coming down. I hope like it. No, you guys are definitely gonna hear this. Oh Lord. But yeah, I hope you guys found this video helpful. I am going to be demonstrating a full look on another person using just Chanel products very soon. I'm going to be doing a trendy makeup look using just Chanel products and a Chanel inspired look using just Chanel products. So you guys can kind of see what Chanel represents. But if you want to incorporate that into the everyday trendy makeup that's going on, I want to show you guys how to do that too. And I will be using these brushes because honestly, these brushes have just become such a staple in my life. Like I cannot live without these. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna end the video here because it is raining and I don't want any of the rain sounds interfering with the audio, even though it probably already has. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna start doing my hair a lot more for you guys because I realized that I feel like my footage just comes out a lot better when I have my hair done. So yeah, I hope you guys found this video helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have any questions, go ahead and comment down below. And I always try to answer as many comments and questions as I can. I mean, I love getting questions and comments, and that's pretty much what keeps me going to do all this. Thank you so much again, and I will see you guys again next week. Bye.